The champagne was warm in my hand when I leaned in. Just a kiss, something affectionate, something a husband does at a party when his wife looks beautiful under dim lighting and string lights wrapped around oak trees. Don't. That's disgusting. She recoiled like I'd pressed a blade to her throat. The word hung in the air between us. Disgusting. And I felt every eye at the table turn toward us. Her friends, my colleagues, strangers holding wine glasses and forced smiles. I froze. Sarah's best friend Monica laughed, light, careless. She leaned forward, her perfume cutting through the night air like something rotten wrapped in silk. "You can kiss me," she said, eyes glittering. "I like it." The table erupted in awkward laughter. Someone clinked a glass. The moment dissolved into noise, into movement, into the safe rhythm of a party pretending nothing had happened. But I saw it. The flicker of panic in Sarah's eyes, the way her hand tightened around her glass, the way Monica's smile didn't quite reach her eyes, like she'd just tested something and confirmed a theory. I smiled, took a sip of champagne, and filed that moment away in a part of my brain where cold things live. Sarah apologized later that night. In the car, in the driveway, in our bedroom where she undressed slowly, carefully, like someone performing a ritual she no longer believed in. "I didn't mean it like that," she said. You surprised me, and my stomach's been off. I think I'm getting sick." I nodded, said nothing, watched her slip into bed and turn away from me. Disgusting. That's what she'd said. Not now, or too much, or I'm tired. She'd said disgusting, like my touch had become something foul, something she couldn't bear. And Monica, beautiful, single, always laughing Monica, had offered herself like a consolation prize. I stared at the ceiling and counted the months. 6. 6 months since Sarah had kissed me first. 6 months since she'd initiated anything. 6 months of turned backs and closed doors and excuses that tasted like lies. I didn't sleep. I planned. Monday morning I called in a favor. A private investigator. Discreet. Expensive. The kind who doesn't ask questions and doesn't leave fingerprints. "Just her phone records," I said, "and locations for the last 3 months. How detailed?" Every second. I went to work, smiled at meetings, closed deals, came home to dinners where Sarah talked about her day, book club, yoga, coffee with Monica, and I listened like a man who still believed his wife. The report came Thursday. I opened it in my car, parked 2 blocks from home, engine off. 3 months of data. 27 visits to the Marriott downtown, always Tuesday afternoons, always between 2 and 5. Phone calls to one number, frequent, long, late at night when she said she was reading in the bath. I cross-referenced the number. David Harrison, marketing director at her company, married, 2 kids. I sat in that car until my hands stopped shaking. Not from sadness, from the cold, crystalline clarity of knowing I'd been right. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Friday night I suggested dinner. Somewhere nice. She hesitated. "I have plans with Monica," but I smiled and said I'd already made reservations. "We never go out anymore," I said. She couldn't argue with that. The restaurant was intimate, candlelit, the kind of place where people propose or break up, or tell truths they can't take back. We ordered, made small talk. She smiled too much, laughed too hard at things that weren't funny. I waited until dessert. Then I placed the folder on the table, cream-colored, unmarked. "What's this?" she asked. "Open it." Her hands trembled as she lifted the cover. Phone records, hotel receipts, screenshots of text messages I'd retrieved through channels she'll never understand. "I can still taste you. My husband suspects nothing. Tuesday can't come fast enough." I watched her face drain of color, watched her mouth open and close like she was drowning in air. "How? Does it matter?" My voice was flat, surgical. "You called my kiss disgusting, but you let him put his mouth on you. His hands. Everything." A tear slid down her cheek. I felt nothing. "I never meant. Save it." She tried damage control, promised it meant nothing, said she'd end it, begged me to think of our life together, our home, the future we'd planned. I let her talk, let her cry, let her bargain with a man who'd already made his decision. I already told him.
was a stranger. Good. And Monica, she knew, didn't she? Silence. That's why she offered herself. She was testing me, seeing if I knew. Probably laughing about it with you later. Please, I've already filed, I said. Divorce papers will be served Monday. The house is in my name. You have until Sunday to move out. Where will I? Not my problem. I stood, dropped cash on the table, enough to cover dinner in her cab home. One more thing, I said, looking down at her. You were right. She blinked up at me, mascara streaked and broken. Kissing you is disgusting. I moved forward. New apartment, new routines, new spaces where her voice didn't echo. Sarah tried calling, texting, showed up once, crying, saying she'd made a mistake. I closed the door, blocked the number, erased her like malware. Sometimes I think about that party, the way she recoiled, the way Monica laughed. I don't feel anger anymore, just the quiet satisfaction of a man who learned the truth, acted with precision, and walked away with his dignity intact. Sarah lost everything. Her marriage, her reputation, her friend. Monica stopped returning her calls after the scandal broke. David lost more. And I learned that some kisses reveal more than affection. They reveal exactly who someone is. And sometimes, that's disgusting enough to warrant a cold, calculated goodbye.